Hello everyone, my name is Mario, I'm back, finally. So today I want to discuss a very interesting topic that I think is not very, shared. I wanted to share, specifically I want to share my experience with THC. Today it's gonna be a bit of a different video because I didn't prepare any script. I'm trying to make shorter videos. I'm not very successful so far, but maybe this will be fine this time. Let's see. Good. But before talking about the whole thing, I would like to precise that my either positive or negative experience might not be your experience. So yours can be more positive, more negative. Some people don't feel anything when smoking THC. Some people might have very adverse effects. So my video is not intended to encourage you to use drugs. It's just something I do for fun, so sharing my experience. So a little bit of a backstory. I was in Amsterdam a couple of weeks ago, month ago, and when I was there, I had kind of last minute the idea of trying THC. The thing that some people might find interesting is that I really don't have experience with THC or the soft drugs in general because I couldn't, simply. In the past, I didn't do many experiences that teenagers do because of my father. So now that since many years I'm living alone, I'm trying to go back and try to do those experiences that I didn't do in the past, even if it's very difficult. Because if you are not exposed to any danger, or if you are hyper protected, or if your parents are very anxious and they don't allow you to do anything, then when you explore the outside world, everything makes you anxious. I'm not sure if I explained myself very well, but I think it's quite logical. Anyway, so THC is one of those experiences. I was 10 days in Amsterdam. I kind of remember to do this too late. Probably I should have done it earlier, but I wasn't there for THC. I was there to enjoy the bike lanes and explore the city. So that was not my priority. Just to be very clear, I didn't smoke it because I don't smoke. I've never tried and I don't want to try. I also don't like having smokers around me because my smell is very sensitive. So what I tried was edible THC, like those cookies that they sell in some shops. At the time when I decided to do this thing, I already had experiences with my psychiatrist and trying psychiatric drugs, and I know that I'm a very sensitive person, even at very lower dosages. Sometimes I have a very high response with half the normal dosage, sometimes less. So I started small one day, and then the next day I increased the dosage, like I doubled the dosage every day, and I did this to like a couple of days. and so I didn't quite have time to increase the dosage too much, but I could experience some of the effects at certain point. So something that I find quite fun is that since edible THC takes some time to be like digested and absorbed by your body, I just took THC and I started watching YouTube videos and like doing stuff like this, and I just waited expecting, I don't know, that I was going to recognize when the effect arrived, but as a matter of fact, I didn't quite notice it. Just at some point, you know, I was feeling that my eyes were burning, but I was like functional. And so when I kind of noticed that I had my eyes burning, I was like, okay, maybe I have the effect, but watching YouTube videos is probably not the best thing I could do, which was a good point in prospect. And at that point, since I really didn't want to go out because I rode a bike the day before, I didn't want to go out, so I kind of started thinking, what could I do to, I don't know, feel the effect more. And then I was like, well, maybe I could try to listen music. I didn't make any research at the time, so I wasn't aware that combining THC and music is quite common. So I just did it because I thought it was a good idea, and I did it. And the experience was interesting, to say the least. And it's gonna be like very difficult to explain how I felt, but I'm gonna do my best to give you an idea. So I personally am very sensitive to noise, so I can hear noises or sound that are very faint, I don't know, small, I cannot find the right word. But let's assume that my range of hearing is from this to this, I don't know. What THC did was to like increase my lower bound of hearing, meaning that I was more like sensitive, like I was able to extract more out of the music itself. I listen different types of music, epic music, stuff like Lord of the Rings or piano music, you know, different genres, and orchestra too. And something that I noticed, especially with orchestra, is that I was able to listen more the sound in the background. So normally when someone listens music, they have like an overview, or you know, they listen to music as a whole. But for some reason my mind was focusing a lot on the background music. I think this was also an interaction with my ADHD medication, like focusing on the wrong stuff. But going back to the point, I could hear all the, let's say, the shades of or the waves of the instruments. So of course when I did this, it was dark because I closed all the curtains, so I didn't have any visual stimuli. And I don't know, somehow I had the impression that music interacted somehow with my vision. if you could say so, or other senses, because when I was listening to the music and I was hearing those waves, I was kind of translating those waves of music in my brain as if it was like water, you know, when a drops falls into still water and it moves. And I had that kind of impression when I was listening music. I'm pretty sure at this point I lost most of the people because I'm probably not explaining myself very well. But in any case, it was a positive experience. And if I could, I would do it again, probably increasing the dosage. Something I forgot to mention and that I didn't like is that when I was listening music, I was like so immersed in the music that I almost became music myself. That's gonna sound ridiculous, but it was as if I was vibrating with the music, which was like very, very interesting. You know, that my brain was like in line with the whole like thing, and it was good, but there was a point where I didn't like it because I was so immersed that I almost had the feeling that I was falling into a cliff, if it makes sense, or as if I'm falling asleep. And I'm not sure if I was actually relaxing so much that I was falling asleep. I cannot tell, to be honest, because I didn't let myself go more into that state because I was somehow afraid. You know, when I don't know if you ever experienced the time between being awake and being asleep, and when you have that feeling of falling into the void, you don't like it, and then you wake up because you are scared. I had that kind of feeling. It was almost as if my body was, as if my soul was leaving my body, and I didn't like it. And I actually spent quite some time listening music, the entire morning, to be precise. And at some point I had, you know, I needed to go to lunch because I didn't have a kitchen. And I went to a restaurant, buy food, because I didn't want to, you know, ride the bike while on THC. And doing that work kind of confirmed what I felt, you know, about hearing more, like being more sensitive, being more aware of the sounds and the intensity and the, you know, those waves. Because when I was walking, my mind was focusing on like random stuff. For example, some scarecrows or some birds, and I could clearly listen them, and it was very like intense and pleasant and relaxing. And I think that if I had been into the woods or like in a forest or something like this, I probably would have felt more connected to the nature. It wasn't the case in that instance, but I can imagine that it would be the case. Side effects, I didn't really have any, except if you consider the part of, you know, falling asleep that was unpleasant, but it was manageable, you know, maybe a little bit of losing balance when walking, but but no big deal. So I would definitely try this experience again, because I think it's very positive. For sure, keeping the same strategy of starting low and increasing, just to be sure, because I think this is something that works very well for me. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Probably I forgot something because I haven't taken any notes, but doesn't matter. I hope that the video is short and I don't have to edit it for forever, because I hate editing. Outro time. I deleted one of my meetup groups, the one of autism and ADHD and stuff, because it was too small. I also didn't want to. I also wanted to involve more people, and make the group grow, because it's quite a niche. So now I have only one meetup group. It's called Friends of Neurodiversity. YouTube. It's quite difficult for me to do YouTube videos because it's not something that I enjoy. It's something that I want to do, but I don't. So I'm trying to do my best to do at least one video every 2-3 months. I don't know. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Oh, like the usual stuff of clicking the bell icon and fingers up or down and comments and please be polite and all these things. Leave a comment if you want. I guess that's pretty much it. So bye bye.